Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. Good evening everyone, how you all doing? Welcome to Mighty House Inc. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry your alerts didn't go off, they don't go off on the opening screen there, but my lights were flashing, I knew you'd been doing stuff. Welcome back everyone, how's everyone doing? Hello Cassie Dev, how are you? Welcome back. Hello Jeff, welcome back, Big Pod. Who was that? Oh, that was Nubbin. It's usually Paul gets in there quickly with the hellos. So welcome back everyone. Hello, how you all doing? Right, okay, I'm going to be doing some more tinkering with Kruiz Control because it's been a learning experience and it's a casual bit of hacking fun on an evening. I'm not sure how long this is going to last for, but we'll see. Hopefully this is going to be good stuff, but I think maybe next I might start looking into doing some sort of reverse integrations with Atom and stuff like that, so use Atom as like a proxy for additional functionality and stuff. So I just exploring my options. It's been a lot of interesting fun though. So oh well, Mighty House Inc. If you like a bit of Linux in your life, you're among friends. Pretty much everyone here is a fully signed up Linux nerd. So if that's your tribe, you might want to join the Discord as well, because there's a bunch of us that hang out in there talking about and doing stuff with all manner of Linuxes. So yeah, okay, well, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Which flavor of Linux do you prefer? You want to share that with us? So I'll get into the coding bit in a minute. I'm just easing into what's going to be a pretty cool little. I did some of this earlier. So this morning my time, I was working on this. We implemented, I don't know, 4 or 5 API endpoints, something like that. Pretty much completed it, but there's 2 or 3 left over, and I thought, screw it, let's complete the batch, because then at least I can offer the Kruiz Control project something that is at least implementation complete for the chat commands, and then they can choose to do with it what they like. So there we go. All right, we're getting some feedback here. So Big Pod is a friend and ex-colleague of mine. It's Big Pod 98 in the chat there. So yes, also Big Pod is a fully signed up Linux nerd, but running Windows and doing WSL. Yeah, that's a good style of Linux to be doing. And your laptop's running Fedora Silverblue. Hearing a lot of people using Fedora Silverblue these days. My friend George Castro, I think, has been doing a very good job talking up the Silverblue game over there. So let's have a look. Garuda Linux. So Kludgedine, Garuda. Is that? I'm going to say that's. I know it's in QuickEmu, so this is how I know of it. Is that an Arch-based thing? I remember it having fairly vibrant, pretty-looking wallpapers. That's what I remember. But is it a general-purpose distro, or is it gaming focused? I can't remember if it had a particular niche it was trying to fill. So Mighty House Inc. says, I do a lot. What's this? I do a lot of bloat work. Right. Hence my usage of Mint and Ubuntu. Okay, well, so my background is I used to work at Canonical. Used to be the engineering director for Ubuntu Desktop, so I know Ubuntu well. Traditionally, this has been an Ubuntu heavy focused stream. Most of the stuff I do is Ubuntu, but for those that know me well will see that I announced I've got a new job today, and it's going to be Nix o'clock around here for the foreseeable future. So I'm working on determinate systems on Nix these days, and although all of this is running on Ubuntu right now, I'm going to go through the learning journey of learning Nix and NixOS and transitioning all of my stuff, and I'll be bringing people along for the ride.
Resub community a time, almost 2 years. Woo.
Hello, Monica. Thank you very much for the resub. That's very kind. So let's just go through these. It's always interesting to get a sense of what people are using for the... So, Eric, I'm glad this stream is at a better time for you. Nubbin, you're using Arch Linux, by the way. Very good. I can't pronounce this name. The Mofam? Is that what I'm going for there? Straight Fedora 37 here. Okay, so no silver blue. Classic Fedora for you. King Egypt. What was this here? Am I having a think? Says you like to distro hop. Okay, so Elementary OS 7. Oh yeah, that recently come out. My good friend Danielle Foray put out a stunning new release. I've only looked at the screenshots. I've not actually tested it out yet, although Popey did submit a pull request to QuickEmu to add Elementary OS 7. So probably, what is it today? It's Wednesday. Think maybe the next stream, the low-hanging fruit is to bang out a new release of QuickEmu, which wraps up a whole bunch of changes over the last couple of months maybe, which includes things like Elementary 7. So maybe I'll use that as an opportunity to run it up and give it a try. How is it? How's it improved and changed? Because as I'm about to embark on installing NixOS, I thought because it's really trivial to switch between desktop environments with Nix, I thought I might use it as an opportunity to really go and see what everyone's been up to, because it's only in VMs that I've really experienced these things recently. So Garuda is Arch, okay, and it's general purpose, okay. But the post installer helps it for gaming. Okay, that's good. Right, okay, just seeing here. So Nobara, is that? So Nubbin says Nobara. I've heard that name. Given that it's version 37, I'm going to guess that's built on top of Fedora. Is that a gaming distro? I'm gonna say this about everything. Anything I'm unsure about. Is that a gaming distro? That seems to be the new meme in the Linux world. Have you noticed this? Every new distro it's a gaming distro. I've seen several recently. There's only one true gaming distro, and it's not even a proper distribution, and that's Chimera OS. That's what I have running behind me here. That's our games console. It's excellent. So if you've not tried Chimera, it's basically the Steam Deck but for PCs. It's terrific, really great. So yeah. Okay, Baron, you win the internet. There we go. Ubuntu Mate 2210. You're doing better than me. I'm still on 2204. Still on 2204. So yeah, for anyone that's new here, Ubuntu Mate is the distribution that I make and look after. I've been doing that for nearly 10 years. Can you believe that? It still feels like something I started yesterday, but yeah, we're fast closing in on 10 years. Right, okay. That's right, Nubbin. I thought I recognised it. So Nobara is from Glorious Egg Roll, who's been at the forefront of bringing fresh rolls of Proton to us Linux gamers. I exclude myself from the Linux gamer tag. I play some games on Linux, but if you've seen any of my gaming live streams, you will know very well, not a very good gamer. Enthusiastic amateur, I think. All the gear and no idea. Right, okay. Except for Hotshot Racing, I'm absolutely ace at that. Everyone else here is terrible. I think I came second in the rundown of our practice at the weekend. Point second. So Monica. Oh, right. So Monica's on Ubuntu Mate as well. Okay, excellent. And Eric says they're becoming curious if Nix works well with data science tools. That's an interesting domain. It's certainly something I haven't done anything about it. I've been reading about it though. I've been reading about it from 2 points of view. One, because my good friend Hayden has got like a serious interest in that now, given that that's his job. But also, some of you'll know I've got quite a lot of GPUs, and I use that for tinkering around with some of the AI ML stuff. Not because I'm a data scientist, just because I find the technology fascinating. So I want to figure out how to get that whole stack working nicely on Nix. I imagine it works fine, but having never done it before, I don't know what I'll encounter and how it's going to be different from a classic Linux distribution. So I think yeah, I can't help it. As soon as the topic of hotshot racing comes up, Monica, I can't help but go into the bants and start to wage what was it somebody called it at the weekend, psychological warfare on my competitors. So what is it? It's Wednesday. I think for those of us that are around on a Sunday evening UK time, we'll be doing more of these group gaming sessions, and we've got the ability to multi-stream all of that now, with no hard work on my part, which is good. So Big Pod says, in my opinion, Nix has potential but lacks useful documentation. So I can help with that, because there is this website called 0to-nix.com, which is something that my colleagues worked on, and it's a gentle introduction to Nix that takes a flakes first approach. So if you've been curious about what Nix is, this is Nix, not NixOS. The two are related, but you don't have to be running NixOS to use Nix. I'm using Nix on my Ubuntu machines here just fine, and if you follow that guide, you will it will introduce you to the new installer that some of the engineers at work have created to install Nix on a non-Nix Linux and also Mac OS. So there's all sorts of Cludgedine. Yeah, you can join in the gaming. Everyone's welcome. The only limit is whatever game we're playing and whatever the lobby size is. That's the only limit. But you're welcome to come and join and play. The more the merrier. Oh, King Egypt, you found a bug. You found a bug there. Bella should be able to give those secrets away now. We'll fix that in a bit. Hi, Can't Shoot. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we'll give that a fix. Cludgedine, we'll figure that out. That's an easy one. I know what it is. So Cassidev says they struggled to set up NVIDIA with the Intel combo. So you're going to give it another go soon? Yes. So I've done that in the past. I've done that on hybrid laptops. I wrote a utility for Ubuntu Mate to make that easier and switch between the different power saving and gaming modes and the hybrid modes, where it basically enables both GPUs at the same time. And you can choose how you want to balance the workloads. And because I love to fiddle with this stuff, I've got dual GPUs in this workstation. I've got the unholy union of AMD Radeon and an NVIDIA graphics card in here at the same time, and that is nirvana as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely ace doing that. But that's going to be an interesting experiment in the NixOS world, because I know nothing about how the drivers are packaged and presented in NixOS, so I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to recreate that configuration here. So that's like on my list of interesting problems to solve. The difficulty is that in order to do this and share it and live stream it, I need to get to the state where I've got a machine that's capable of doing that. So I've been building some other PCs down here as well, which may have to be temporary stooges to stand in for this sort of thing whilst I get the main workstations all up and running. So what was that? Big Pod says NixOS wasn't that bad for me. Yeah. Installing, there's two ways to install. Well, I will get into this. In future streams, I'm going to be digging into the Nix stuff in a big way. So we'll have a proper look at all of that. And Ali says that 0 to Nix didn't help. Why not? What was it lacking? What were you looking for that it didn't answer for you? I'll take that as feedback and we can see how, because it's a work in progress. We're going to continue to iterate on that and expand what it covers as well. So, right. Okay. Excellent. I think I've caught up on chat. Thank you all for stopping by. It's lovely to see you all here. Right. Should we get into it? Should we fix the first bug that we've seen already this evening? Which, who was it that triggered that? It was Cludgeon, wasn't it? Right, let's go and take a look at... Oh, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. That transition is definitely not supposed to happen. Whoa. Okay, that was interesting. Let me just push this button again. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. And that was... Just pretend the other thing didn't happen. Nobody saw anything. So... what have we got here? We have got, as usual, for the last few streams, we've got the Kruiz Control documentation open here. And we've got the Twitch chat command migration guide open here. So we'll be going through these. Where's the migration guide? There. We'll be going through these endpoints for the ones that are not implemented at all. I had a quick look at them earlier. It looks like it's going to be easy. So we'll do the ones that aren't implemented at all in my chatbots. And then there's one, maybe two, that are partially implemented, and we'll have a go at unlocking the full potential. I'm not going to go too crazy. But yeah, we'll try and get this complete because, as you can see, as I've said in the other streams about this, these chat commands are currently deprecated via the Twitch IRC API, and on February the 18th, they're going away. So we've got 17 days to get this done, which shouldn't be too difficult because we've only got a few left to do. So I think the ones we've got left to do are color and which one was it? Mods, which is to get a list of mods in the channel. I'm not sure how this is going to be useful yet. That has a number of nuanced options, but we'll just implement the basic, which is get a list of all of the mods, which I can think of a way of using in the bot, and then a list of all of the VIPs. And I think, did we do... Oh no, we didn't do the raid yet. That was it. I was looking at the raid API this morning. So I'm not going to do that one this evening because we're going to roll that one up with implementing the API, implementing the action that also integrates with OBS. So when there is when we start a raid, it'll do a whole bunch of stuff. And I think we're going to expand on the banning as well with some extra bits and pieces at some point too. So, I'm just catching up on chat there. Well, languages are languages, Big Pod. I don't think it really matters whether it's functional or not. You either jive with it or you don't, I think. And Ali says the guide seems to be a list of things I can already do without Nix. But can you actually? Are you really sure about that? Have you got those reproducibility guarantees? I'm not sure you do. No, it's definitely not like Docker. Not at all. Having spent considerable time working with that. Yeah, it's not. Well, I tell you what. You often drop by here, Ali. Let's learn together and keep me honest, and we'll see if we can try and expose where the value of Nix lies and why it's not like some of the other solutions that are out there. But also, I do fully acknowledge there's room for improvement, and one of the reasons I'm going through this sort of very raw and warts and all is because I want to experience the rough edges and help come up with ideas about how that could be improved and how Nix can be made easier for other developers and Linux enthusiasts and people that are using Nix in professional environments. So yeah, I'm going to be unbiased in this process because I need to be to sort of get some objective sort of feedback that I can work with. Right then, so these are the APIs we'll look at today, but the first thing we need to do is we found that bug, so I think that's in here, isn't it? Let's just take a look. There we go. I teased this with some friends at the weekend. I think only King Egypt saw it, but there we go. We can take that away now, save that, and then we'll just reboot the bots, and there we go. And when they come back, if you do bang job in the chat, the first person wins. There we go. So who got that? I don't. That was Nubbin. That's now on a cooldown for 2 minutes, so nobody else will be able to trigger that for 2 minutes. But that's what I'm now doing, and that's where I'm now working. So. And I'm very, very happy to be there as well. Right then, so that's bug 1 fixed. We can put that to one side, and this is where we're working on our Twitch API endpoint implementations. So let's just go and remind ourselves. We've got mods and VIP lists. I bet that these two APIs are going to be extremely similar to one another. So let's take a look at getting a list of moderators and getting a list of VIPs, taking a look at the curl example of what's required to trigger that. Let's just paste, let's put this in down here above. Actually, we'll put these in down here. There we go. So that's the moderators payload, and that's very simple to do. We've got plenty of examples like that, and this one I think is probably going to be the same stuff, but just with a different endpoint URL. VIPs. Yeah, so moderation versus channels. This is exactly how it was this morning when we implemented the other thing. So actually we did do, maybe we'll move these up to where we've got the VIP and moderator stuff for consistency. So we've got unmod. So let's drop this in here. Okay. Has anyone else seen Kruiz Control before, other than me badly working with it here? Which one was this? This was mods. And this one was VIPs. And we'll stick that one there. We'll move this one up and come deal with that first, I think. Go. Right then. So what I'm doing here is I've got 2 bots that are operating in the channel. One is Bella, and she's going to grow in capability over time. She's doing the lion's share of responding to chat commands and doing timed things. So she's my bot assistant, and then there's another bot which is actually under my account, and that bot automatically responds to things that are going on in the stream, such as channel point redemptions and people following and what have you, and it makes sure I never forget to say thank you and stuff like that. So one of the things that you should see is, I know that Mighty House Inc. has seen this for following, or did you think you followed? Yeah, followed. You sent a whisper, and that was the bot that sent that whisper on my behalf to say thank you, to which you responded, and I can now see. And Monica will have one as well, another one in fact, crikey Monica, and so does Can't Shoot. So that's the sort of thing, and those messages, those whispers, were sent out through the API that we've integrated here in Kruiz Control. So it was actually, wasn't it?
Thank you for the follow, BigPod98.
How on earth were you not following Big Pod? That's curious. Okay, well, thank you for the follow, and you should have a message now. So, yeah, I think King Egypt's right. I think Kruiz Control was indeed an 80s style game. There was a recent one, wasn't there? Like I don't want to. Pixel art, pseudo 3D pixel art racer, Kruiz Control. I think I remember from. I think I might have it in my Steam library actually. I'll have to have a look at the weekend. Oh, Big Pod's found a bug. I unfollowed and followed right away and got it to respond. Why is that a bug? Why? Surely that's intended behavior. And also, it's responding to the Twitch API. If the Twitch API says you've just followed, that's what, you know, we're working with here. A bug? Kill it with fire, you say? Okay. Who's going to do it? Who's going to kill it with fire? Somebody here knows what I mean. Right, okay, so we've got the VIP stuff there. Let's more driving games. Yeah, definitely going to be more driving games. I love driving games. Right, okay. Let's well done, Monica. I don't think it's a bug though. I think that's completely reasonable. Completely reasonable that it behaves like that. So let's think. What have we got here? What have we got that behaves like this? I think the delete messages probably works a bit like this. No, that just had a really simple payload. Let's go and find it, because here we go. Delete chat messages. Yeah, look, it's got no additional data. It's just got basically that, and I don't even need the second part of that. So what we'll do is we'll steal this as our as a template for our implementation. Or which one are we doing first? Is it VIPs? Here it is. So we'll just comment all of this out so I don't upset anything. So we'll drop that in. This is going to be another action, and this is going to simply be called VIPs. And the action name, this is just so I can use some common boilerplate. Oh, what's this? Let's just say if some evil person unfollowed and followed constantly. Well, what we can do is we can make these bots more robust. As Monica suggests, we could boot them. So we could have per session a follow-unfollow count for users that follow and unfollow. And if you do it more than 3 times, then Bella can put you in the corner for half an hour or something. So yeah, we could or bring out the banhammer or something. I mean, it's more difficult. So this is where subsequent iterations of this need to get more nuanced, because it will need to do things like, is this user a mod? Unmod them and then ban them. Because as far as I'm aware, I can't ban a moderator with moderator status, they will just still be a moderator. I think that's how it works. So, Monica, it's unfortunate you weren't here this morning because I was working on the ban and unban features, and I decided that Yannick was the perfect guinea pig for that. So he got repeatedly banned and unbanned this morning, and I actually had a bug in the API implementation, so he got fully demoted to a regular user for a while there. We fixed it in the end though, but yes, I was quite enjoying that moment. It's like, I don't know what to do. There's a bug, and now you're a nobody. Oh, right, okay. He's used to it. Okay, fair enough. So, we'll need to change this API endpoint like so. So we'll pinch that from there. We'll drop this in here up to, where did I copy that to? Did I copy it to there? I think I did. There we go. And we don't need the moderator ID because this is only something a broadcaster can do, I believe. The post for this, or rather the method for this, is a get. Proper RESTful APIs. I do appreciate that. Okay, and then we don't have... Oh yeah, and then we need to change all of these, don't we? So I've given all of the APIs different labels. So we'll just go in and change all of those. Okay, and that is a real simple one. So let's think. There's nothing to send to this other than it gets triggered. It doesn't need any clever. It's basically it. That is actually it. So what we now need is, that's the implementation. Well, I need to go and find where I've left this laying around. There it is. So what we'll do is, as these are so similar, we'll just pick this up, drop this one down here. Where are they? Here we go. We'll call it mods. We'll change the action name. Hello. Hey, Cast Twitches. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. How did you find us? And it says Cast Twitches, so do you stream? And if so, what sort of things do you stream? So API VIP. So this is now just going to become mods. We'll just change all of that. Oh, I've got a bug in the one above. We'll just go and fix that. Any moment. Did anyone spot that typo? I didn't check the chat to see if any eagle-eyed people spotted the mistake. So we've got a double equals here. We don't need that. So let's have a look. What have we got here? Thank you for the sub, TCast Twitches. That's very kind. Yeah, I am hoping to. I think the evening ones, the evening streams, are going to be more ad hoc than scheduled. I'm only my second week getting back into this after having a sort of a couple of months off. But I would like to schedule like a regular evening stream, because I know I've got friends in America, and when I stream in the morning over here, European time, I don't get to talk to you and catch up with you, which is a bit rubbish. So I'm going to try and get at least one regular one in, and then of course we've got Sunday nights for playing games. So Cash Twitchy says, oh, you're a long time lurker. Okay, mostly catch up on YouTube videos after the fact. Oh well, okay, great. Well, thank you very much for stopping by and joining us live. I appreciate that. And if you are a lurker and you just want to signal that you lurk here, we have a command which is bang lurk. And there we go. That'll just let me know that you're quietly lurking. So there we go. And all of these commands I need to document. Maybe we'll put the initial list of commands together this evening that will represent the documentation that I need to, not documentation, but the command list, because there's quite a lot of them now. And there's some fun ones in there too. Right, so we need to take this here and drop that in here like so. That's the correct URL endpoint, and that is that should be it. So we don't need that reference there anymore. We'll get rid of that. So nothing will happen at the moment because these are just actions that I can call. So what we'll go and do now, and I don't even need any input for these, so I can just go over here to Twitch commands, and this is all of the things that you type that it will respond to. So TCAS, that's why, sorry, I don't know where to call you TCAS or Cast Twitches, but Cast Twitches says that one of the reasons why they don't watch live is because it's at stupid o'clock in the morning when I normally stream. Yes, it often is. It suited me for a very long time to mostly stream in the mornings, but I want to break that habit a bit because I often find myself sitting in this very spot tinkering on stuff in the evenings. And quite often it's very experimental and I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning. And I thought I should probably share those vulnerable moments. And, you know, it's possible, there's 22 people here at the moment. It's possible that every so often you get an expert stop by who can be helpful. More often than not, that's the case. So, yeah, we'll probably be doing some of these I really don't know what I'm doing, don't judge me type streams, and they'll probably be in the evenings rather than the mornings. And I say, you know, I know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I've been learning Kruiz Control as I go. It just so happens that once you've implemented 2 or 3 of these Twitch API endpoints, the rest are pretty much identical or very similar. Here we go. That is all we're going to need. So we can have mods, and we can even do this because we did this earlier. So let's just take this bit of code down where we did all of the VIP stuff, because oh no, we implemented it in the API side, didn't we? I won't do that because it's actually not going to save any code, but this was just simply VIPs, and I'll show you what I mean. We folded a bit of this code earlier, which is something I should probably do. The mods up here or further down? I've lost them. There they are. Oh, hang on. What have I done here? Oh, yeah. Here we go. This was it. So the command for VIP and mod are actually the same command, and it does all of this input validation that's identical for both, and then it just evaluates what command is being called and just does a slightly different action at the end. So we could mimic that. Shall yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go and find that one I left up here. Get rid of that. As they're basically the same. They take the same input, the output's going to be broadly identical. So we're going to have, if the command is VIPs, then do that. And if the command is mods, then do that. And we'll change this to VIPs is no arguments. And this is mods with no arguments. This is where we then need to get rid of that because it's actually the other thing. That's what we don't do. our implementation is not complete, actually, because we don't actually display the list of things anywhere. So there we go. We'll leave that there. So there's our command for mods and VIPs, but we actually now need to go and display the list of VIPs here. So we need to do that here. And I imagine we could probably just do chat send and the API data. That will do something. It may not do exactly what we want, but it will do something. And we need to do the same for the, oh gosh, which way was the mod stuff? Here it is. So this is why I want to roll some code together, because as you can see, these two methods are, they're not methods, actions are basically the same. So I could call this one like mods and VIPs. And no, actually, I don't know that Kruiz Control can send. Yeah, I could send a parameter to it. I could send a parameter to it to tell it which. Yeah, it would be possible to roll these together. So it's something I might consider doing. I see there's been some chat. Right then, TCAS is good. Okay, I've got that. TCAS. I used to work in aviation, by the way. Do you know what TCAS means? See you, Cassie Dev. Thanks for stopping by. Bludgeon. So I think you should ask the dev of the software I've beasted to do a live stream. What? Oh, hang on. What's this? This looks like an interesting comment. Let's go read that properly, where I can see it in big words. I think I should ask the dev of the software I've beta tested for 12 years to do a live stream. Okay. Would be great to see what cracking the whip achieves in real time. So that may not have the outcome that you're expecting. It's quite difficult to do any serious development work on a live stream if you want to stay engaged with the people that are here watching, because you're constantly context switching. That's why something like this is like perfect for the evening, because it's not very demanding and I can switch between doing this and talking to all of you fine people without too much, you know, brain power. So yeah, there's another bug. Mindy found this earlier. We need to fix that one. Right, okay. So yeah, getting people to live stream, it can be tricky to actually make like good progress on a live stream. That's why I sort of in air quotes plan my streams, in as much that I know what the outcome's gonna, or what the outcome I'd like to achieve is going to be. I don't always get there, of course, because sometimes I just make a mess of it. But I have an idea what I want to try and achieve. And I tried to keep that scope really small. Like if I was focused on tasks in the same amount of time without streaming, I'm probably 4-5 times more productive than when I live stream. But that's okay, because the live streaming bit is also for a bit of social contact and getting to know people and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not all about just working. There are live streams where people just work. I was watching one earlier today, and they were just live streaming, doing stuff, and they were sat there in complete silence, going about their business, doing what they needed to do. And it was a very well presented thing with some great ambient background music and sound, and the visuals were excellent, but it wasn't like this sort of talking head stuff and explanation of what they were doing. They were just silently going about their stuff and occasionally responding to questions that popped up. So yeah, it's interesting. Right then, so TCAS says Yeah, but you should ask. You know, the more people that are live streaming like software development stuff, the better, I think. This category, the software, what is it? Software, what category is it actually? I don't actually remember. Software and game development. I know there's mostly game development in here, but that category has exploded in the year it's been around. It's become, I know it's not the hundreds of thousands or millions that you get on the popular games, but how big is it now? Let's have a look. Just over 200,000 followers. I remember I joined this category the day it started, and there was like 4 of us in here. And it took, for the first 3 months, it was only 1,000. So, you know, it's grown really quickly. And there's 3,500 people watching this category at the moment.
Thank you for the follow, Pan Spinning Kids.
Hey, Pan Spinning Kids. Welcome. I don't think it was, but I tell you what, let's find out what you've been up to. So, Pan Spinning Kids. There we go. Hopefully that I've got that right. There we go. Oh, look. So there we go. So there's an interesting channel to take a look at. Streaming C++, PowerPoint, C interfaces, weird languages, and other monsters. Lovely. That's good stuff. Oh well, you know, we're all kinds of interested in different types of development stuff, so that's fab. No, I haven't seen your stream though. I'll make a note to pop by. I have that by way of the whisper that's been sent your way now. Right then, what was I doing? There was a whole bunch of interesting conversation going on up here. I refer you to my point about being, you know, distracted by interesting conversation when you live stream. So TCAS says, right, here we go. I'm a writer in marketing, context switching. It's the bane of getting anything done. Hard to get back in the flow afterwards. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle with that. Like if I've got something that's really, I've got my brain tendrils into, breaking flow is, it can take like an hour to get back in that state again. It's really frustrating. Right, let's click that button. And I think I saw Monica was saying, right, okay. What was the quote on? Yes, TCAS. So TCAS also listens to the podcast. I will put a link to that here for anyone that doesn't know about this fine podcast that I make with my friends. So yeah, we make a podcast called Linux Downtime, and Gary, who is the lead developer of Pigeon, the messaging client, he's got a fascinating stream here. So he is it RW or is it, let's try it this way. It'll soon tell me if I get it wrong. There we go. No, user not found. I need to fix that bug. That shouldn't do that. So it's RW Grim. Let's try that. No? Oh, I'm on cooldown. Stupid bot. I've got this command. I don't recommend anyone use it. Cooldown is some of the commands are like you can't reissue any. People can't reissue them for a set amount of time. And it's just to stop, like spamming the bot basically and generating lots of noise. But yeah, it was Gary is a very competent Linux sysadmin, DevOps, and developer, and so his streams are amazing. And he was saying that one of the things that his viewers enjoy is, and I suppose this is what I didn't think about it at the time when we were recording the podcast, but I suppose this is what a lot of people enjoy about watching like the really good game streamers, that you're watching somebody who is, pun intended, at the top of their game. And Gary is that for Linux related stuff, not just development, but, you know, standing up Kubernetes clusters with worker nodes in them as if it's, you know, water off a duck's back. And he referred to it as competency porn, as, you know, what attracts people to watching that sort of thing. I don't know why you're all here. There's no competency on offer here this evening, as we've seen by the numerous bugs in my little toy. Right then, so what were we doing? I've even forgotten that. Oh yeah, that was it. We've just added a chat send for the API data from those two commands. So we'll give the bot a reboot, which we do with the bonk command, and then we'll try and do VIPs, and that did nothing. Oh, error. That's the API data response is error. Okay. Bother. Let's try mods, see if that works any better. Object. Yeah, okay. So this API data is... I thought it was going to be just a straight list. Okay. I don't want to get into deciphering these this data because it means I've got to mess about with JavaScript, and I really don't have the patience for that right now. So let's just figure out why the VIPs failed entirely and get that fixed, and then we'll look at what we can do with this API data, because we're going to let's not get distracted myself. Let's fix the other one that's totally busted, and then we'll look at the data payload. So why did this not... Oh, that's right, it was because of this, which I saw earlier and didn't fix. Right then, it's time to bonk the bot again. Can I say that? That means something over here. Right then, so that is the bot restarted, and now we'll try VIPs, and we'll probably get an object response. Okay, so the API works. We now just need to decipher it. I haven't done this before, so let's go and look at the docs and see if there's anything helpful here, because I thought it was just going to be... Oh, here it is. Oh, it's all sorts of things. Oh, this isn't helpful at all. So the display name. Okay, let me just think about this. We probably want the display names, don't we? And why are we doing this? I want to do this. So there's some commands where... Oh, hang on a minute. I might have a namespace collision as well that I need to think about, because I'm sure I've got a mods command that I'd already implemented, so I'll have to have a look at that. You don't... Yeah, I quite like the streams that I don't know much about what the topic is. It's interesting, like being introduced into new things. I've been in some fascinating streams recently. It's been great. Right, okay. Yeah, no, it's this data response body, and there's nothing here for me to say just give me a list of strings. So we're going to have to decipher this nonsense, which is probably no bad thing, because there's two ways you can pass data around in Kruiz Control. One's messages and the other are the actions that I'm using right now, and the actions are quite flexible. You can pass lots of arguments discreetly, but the messages, which are asynchronous, you can only pass a data blob, and I've avoided using them where possible so that I don't have to get into embedding JavaScript in this stuff to pull out stuff from JSON objects. Yeah, in fact, that's a good point. So that Big Pod, friend of mine, is here. You're streaming again, are you, Big Pod? I know what you are streaming, but this is Big Pod's channel. Yeah, and that was us racing at the weekend, that hotshot racing. But You oh, you mostly stream on YouTube, do you? You can paste a link because you're a moderator here, Big Pod. So you can point people at your YouTube channel. Right. Okay. So where did this pagination start? Oh, that was. What? How did I get here? Oh. Okay. So, how do we do this then? I have seen an example of this, but I'm not able to pull that example up right now because it's in a Discord channel. So, I tell you what, let's press on with some of the other bits and pieces to implement, and I'll circle back to this for pulling the... What was the other one? It was colour, wasn't it? Let's have a go at doing this one. Update a user colour. And how is update user chat colour? Oh, up. So that should be set and get. So it's a getter and a setter, basically. Why would you use such weird terminology to describe that? Okay. Oh. Colour. Here we go. Let's just open that one. Update and get. So I've been looking at the Cheerlights API, which is implemented using MQTT. I was trying to think of a way of updating the Cheerlight color and then using that to change the color of my lights to a color. So anyone in this channel that sets the Cheerlight color globally will also affect the lighting in this room, and maybe will cast a filter across, like, you know, the video or something temporarily. Nice one, Cludgedean. Thanks for supporting the other people here who are making stuff and doing things. It's very good of you. Yeah. Right then. Let's do the color stuff. So what was this? Uses a hex color code to change the color of the user for their name in chat. So how does this work? The user ID. Okay, so that's the numerical ID of the user whose chat color you want to update. So I can do this. Can anyone do this? User ID. Okay, so I think this might work in that you could issue a color command without a parameter. So you could do bang color without a parameter, and it will tell you what your name color is. And then you could do bang color with a, well, one from the list, or if you're one of these special types of people down here, a hex color code, and set it. And that's all there is to it, isn't it? So that's update, and this one's just get. Requires an app access token. I do have one of those, but I'm not going to use that for this because we've... Oh. Yeah, okay. Okay, so but this requires a user access token. I bet I can't do this. So this might not be something I can implement easily because of the way the authentication tokens work in Kruiz Control. We can try and do this, but this may only work for me setting the color of my own thing. We'll try it. Let's find out. Let's learn together. So let's do the getting the color, because that should be very straightforward. Okay. Gets the chat color used by the specified users. We'll just make it single user at the moment to keep it nice and simple. Right. Yeah, that's always a problem, isn't it? Noisy household. Hello, Tommy. How are you doing? It's going very well. It's lovely to have you here. Have you seen the news? Yes, going tippity top. super late. Yeah, I decided I was just going to get stuck into some stuff. So Davur, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. So they ask, let me just bring this up. Is the purpose of the API for streamers to delegate colors to the chat members they choose? I'm not sure. I feel like it's there for users to do, but you would need... We're going to find out, basically. We're just going to see what happens. I will implement the control. I will do it myself. And then I'll expose that command to all of you, and we will see if it works or if it fails. I'm going to guess it's only going to work for changing my own color, not allow other people to use this command to change their color. But we'll find out. It will be nice if it works for everyone. I may need to... I've got an app access token, and maybe we will try using that as well. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But this is something I've been discussing with the Kruiz Control developers, because the way the user tokens works is fine, but they don't auto refresh, and I don't know enough about OAuth authentication flows to know how to implement that. So Tommy, you've caught up. Yeah, so now the whole Nix stuff makes sense. Yeah, but this has been a long time coming, Tommy. As you well know, I've been talking about Nix here for a good long while. Are they still hiring? Not as far as I'm aware, but I'll find out. I'll let you know. I don't think so, but I'll find out. It's a small team. There are 6 of us. I think there are 6, maybe 7, because I know there's one person I haven't met yet because they're on vacation. So I think there's 7. I think I've got that right, but I might be miscounting. Okay, Tommy. I'll let you know. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of Nix stuff going on here, and I'm fully prepared to fall flat on my face whilst I find my way. So, oh no, yeah, this is it, isn't it? There's so many reduction in forces happening in the IT space at the moment, particularly sort of, you know, dev and DevOps and what have you. So TCAS says things are clicking for me now. Heard Wimpy talking about Nix on Linux Unplugged. Loved his enthusiasm about it. Makes a lot of sense. Wow, that's going back, because I've not been on Linux Unplugged for some time, because they record on a Sundays now, and that's a really inconvenient time for me to make from a family point of view. So I haven't been on it for years, not regularly at least. So that probably illustrates just how long I've been talking, or at least recognizing the value of Nix. But there's been so much inertia around me, my life, and my connection with Ubuntu that, you know, it's simply impossible to move away from it, or at least not impossible in the last couple of years, but difficult. So yeah, I'm very happy that I've been able to pursue something that I'm deeply interested in and find a role in an organization that is doing good stuff with Nix. So yeah, I'm all about this, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, and as I say, I'm not going to be shy about sharing my fails with all of you. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Tommy. I thought that you would appreciate this news more than most, given that your investment in Nix. I'll make sure you. There's a Nix party coming up. I'll send you details. Hey, actually, are you in the UK or Ireland? You don't have to say precisely where. I can't remember if you were Ireland or the UK. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So we won't be able to do this in person. That will be tricky. Okay, but I'll send you details anyway, because you may know people that you can qualify, and at the very least we'll get you some free pizza. This is for celebrating 20 years of Nix. We're going to organise a global event. Right, okay. Example request. Oh, there's quite a lot going on there. What's this? Oh, hello now. What's all this?
Dev is raiding with a party of 2.
Hello, Tailored Dev. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, you and your friends. Thanks for stopping by. So let's. This command still work? I think it does. Oh, it does it all for me automatically, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. So it should explain what we're up to. Yep, excellent. Try. Ah, right. Okay, tailored dev. That's interesting. So devenv.sh. Nice. I was only reading about that quite recently. That looks like a neat tool. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. Thank you. It's good to see you again. And welcome to the raiders as well. So I'm just working on a Twitch bot at the moment, which is implemented using Kruiz Control, an open source framework for developing Twitch and OBS and stream elements integrations, and it even has Discord capability. So at some point I thought we can do some fun stuff here that actually reflects things into Discord. You know, maybe we can organize some kind of I've got this idea of like an MMO where one team is in Discord and one team is in Twitch chat. We can sort of have the two teams competing with each other. So we'll give that a go at some point. But let's concentrate on this API for now. Let's get this done. No, what? Oh, that's the response I'm looking at. Oh, Wally. Okay. Right, let's pick this up. Let's go and do this. Get the user chat color. So this should just work for anyone, right? We should be able to implement this and anyone should be able to use this command. So let's bang this in and get it done. So let's put this up with the announcement, because as it happens, the announcement endpoint also has a color option, which is currently unimplemented. So we may be able to reuse this as like calling out from here's the announcement one. So we'll put color underneath it. This is the reference implementation and user ID, oh, that's because if it's multiple IDs, and we're not going to implement multiple IDs at the moment. Let me just think about that. Why wouldn't I do that? Because it's cumbersome to do in Kruiz Control. I'm going to choose the easy option. Right, so I guess this is almost identical to the endpoints we just did earlier. Like, so we'll go and grab these by way of copy and paste on VIP. What is it? Is this VIP's one? I think we'll just take that and we'll use that as our starting point, and we'll adapt it. So let's do that thing. So TCAS, I'm glad to hear that you're loving NixOS. What is it that you're loving about it in particular? I've not got an in-anger NixOS. I'm using Nix on Ubuntu at the moment, and dare I say macOS, because I was testing stuff for work. I love the development environment stuff. That is the biggest feature by far, and in fact Tailored Dev was just talking about devenv. I'm going to be looking at using Nix in conjunction with direnv to create a similar solution to what devenv makes. We'll call this get color. No, we'll just call this color. And I haven't misspelt that. I do try to write American English when I'm doing code. So this is the color action. Let's take this endpoint out here now. and it's user ID. Okay. So this is going to be a get. Don't make that mistake again. And this is API color. So let's just update these labels. We won't be needing that. Let's remove that before I forget. Right. That's all we need for now for the initial basic implementation. So we'll get rid of that. That's what we've got, right? So we'll head over here and put the chat command in for it. So my first, so Tailored Dev, your stream that you've just done, or last did, I don't know when you did it, but around DevEnv, that was your first foray into the Nix world. Is that right? Is that what you're saying? Hang on. So Tom is also saying, all right, okay, Tailored Dev, right, good. Okay. Is that stream? Was that stream recent? Is it still up? You know, if we go to your channel, is it something we can watch? Because I will probably do that tomorrow. Just now. Excellent. Okay, then I will watch that tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bella did a shout out to your channel. Yeah, so that's in the chat history there, and a link to the video as well. In fact, if you're using the Twitch chat client, it should have even put a thumbnail in for you. Let me just check that worked. Did that work? Yes, it did. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, this has been fun working on this stuff. Right then. Let's what was I up to? We need to do the command. So we need a color command. I don't think I implemented. I'm just thinking because over here the chatbot has got a whole bunch of stuff that it will respond to in there, and what I'm trying to do is make sure these chat command implementations don't have a namespace collision with what's over there. Hang on. On action. This shouldn't be here. That's in the wrong place. This should, but let's move this out. This is an action which is part of the API implementation, so that should be over here. Looking at this, it should be after the subscriber stuff, so let's just go and deal with that now. Slow chat, subscriber chat. Oh my gosh, how on earth has that even worked? So there's two. That's an old implementation. This is the newer one. Crikey, how did it tolerate having two things with the same name? Right, let's ditch that one. Let's just make sure there's nothing missing. So that validates the input. So does that. They look the same. I'm going to remove this one. So I actually managed to copy and paste the wrong thing over there and have that in two places. That's curious. Oh, crikey. Lots of communication going on here. Okay, Monica. See you. Thanks for stopping by. So Tommy also said, I noticed that Tommy says, by the way, I'm going to work on a NixOS beginner course. So what NixOS beginner course? What's prompting you to do that, Tommy? And what? This is a genuine question. I'm not being critical. Genuinely want to know the answer. What is it that you're thinking is missing from the current docs, and why create something new instead of contributing to the upstream documentation? And I know there are legitimate reasons why you might not want to contribute to the upstream documentation. I'm not like being critical. I'm just generally asking. Okay. So Cludgeon says they're behind the curve, still using Arch. It won't be long before we're all wearing I use NixOS, by the way, t-shirts. That's when we know we've won. Right, so TCAS says I went full trendy. I'm going to have to bring this message up. Where is it? Oh gosh, so many messages. Okay, I'm a bit behind. Let's bring these up. I went full trendy and tried NixOS with Hyperland as the window manager. I haven't heard of that. What is that? It's really easy to break something when you're setting up a window manager, at least for me. I've been learning Hyperland and NixOS. I love that I can roll NixOS. Yeah, I mean, that is another killer feature. This is why I really want to get to NixOS as quickly as possible, because there are so many quality of life things I really want in my life that NixOS brings. And that whole, you know, automatic snapshot boot environment stuff. And the guys at work, guys and girls at work, have shown me some fascinating stuff that they do. It's just, there's so much I want to do, and I know I have to like learn it before I can do it. It's a bit frustrating, and I need to walk a bit before I start running. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of conversation. So what is Hyperland? You're going to make me go and look it up, aren't you? Let's go and have a look. What is this thing people are talking about? I assume it's this. So it's another Wayland-based tiling compositor. Okay. Is it forked from anything, or is it a whole cloth thing? Oh, maybe I have heard of this, actually. Interesting that it's demoed on Nix. Is this... Let's have a look. Okay, so... It's a very minimal, isn't it? I mean, I can understand why people like this kind of thing. I have seen some very beautiful stars over time. Wow, look, they're doing well. That's impressive. Wow, look at that. That's impressive. Good job. Okay. Oh, and Wayfire. Okay. Yeah, I had a look at Wayfire recently. I could get distracted by that if I look at that too carefully for too long. So Taylor Dev was replacing a Docker Dev environment with a Dev one. Yeah, nice. That's one, and again, that's one of the workflow enhancements I'm looking for by moving to Nix itself rather than just NixOS, is getting away from the sort of the container lifecycle and just having these transparent dev environments that just magically, you know, get stood up as and when I need them. So TCAS says they're still on their learning journey and they haven't got to Flakes yet. Okay, so TCAS, do take a look at zerotonix.com, because that is a Flakes first approach to getting started with Nix, and that's because at work they believe that Flakes are the future of Nix and that people new to Nix should be learning Flakes from the outset. And I should make it plain that one of the people at work is Elko, who is the creator of Nix. So, you know, we've got some good authority on the matter in that regard. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, by all means, use the Discord to share information about that. Please do it publicly. Tommy and TCAS, get into the chit chat in my Discord and share all of the stuff, and then everyone can benefit from your conversation. I'd certainly love to see what you've discovered, what you've learned, and benefit from that. That would be ace. Right. Okay. Awesome. Lovely to see several of you here already who've are embracing Nix. I'm going to be leaning on you quite heavily soon. So look out for calls for help. I hope you won't mind. Right then, let's get back to this. I found a bug in my thing, didn't I? And I just cleaned that up. So I've now got one unique chat implementation. Good. So let's get back to here where we're going to implement a color command, which is going to go up near the announcements because we may be able to reuse this. So we'll spell it both ways here because this is obviously a thing that people will type in one or more languages. We could probably do more with that in time. So is this going to do anything? So that says moderators at the moment. Let me just change that to me only. Let's just see if this... Hang on. No, I've just realized. I've just had a thought. This is not going to work. I have not implemented this correctly. What we want to do is not this at all. We want to send the user parameter from the command. So when the command catches it, gets the username, we want to send that username on to here, and then we want to derive the user ID from the username that we get sent. So fortunately, here we go, we've got a couple of these. Let's find one that actually does the user lookup piece as well, because I've put some safeguards in a couple of these that do like lookups and what have you. Come on. They're all action names. Why are there no... I thought there were usernames in here. Action name was not... there we go. Here's a good example. So this one, this is the timeout one that's asking for a username. So this actually wants two things. So what we'll do is there's one there we can remove, and if not found, action name could not find thing, and there's the setting the user ID there. So we'll copy that and we'll drop all of that up here and just clean it up because we've been down this road once before. So here we want to do that, paste that in. So what we're saying is there one input parameter? Does it exist? If it doesn't, we need one, and there was one provided, so we're going to drop out. There isn't a second parameter at the moment, so we'll not bother with that. We'll leave that in for now. Hey Locta, welcome back. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure I've seen you around these parts before. How you doing? Right then, so we'll just do a lookup on the Twitch ID here. Check that there's no API failures. I've seen you around other parts, have I? Not on Twitch. Okay, fair enough. Your username looks very familiar to me. I've definitely seen you around somewhere. We have conversed elsewhere. Okay, yeah, I definitely recognise your username. I thought I'd seen you here, but obviously not. It's difficult to hold all of this online presence information in your head, particularly when you've not met people in real life. We haven't met in real life, I assume. I know there are people here who I have, or just recently, there were people who come to the stream fairly frequently who I did get to meet in real life for the first time, which was also nice. Oh, fair enough, Lopter. Fair enough. Right then. Let's just look. So we'll just dodge that bit about duration. We'll re-implement that when we get to setting a color later or something. So we could, yeah, we could do stuff there, and we make sure that was fine, and we make sure the user was found, and then we set the user ID. So I don't think we need to set that variable, the Twitch user ID, which is my Twitch user ID. And what we want to do is just pass the user ID in here. And that should be. So that should definitely work for me. Whether it works for anyone else, I don't know. So let's find out. What have we got in our chat command? We do have one called color, and we have a username, and it's currently broadcaster only. So I'm going to bonk the bot, and we'll give this a go. Yeah, Tommy, you make a good point about Nix instead of Docker on a Mac. One of the things that we're keen to do at work is try and make the Nix experience on Mac OS just really great. So again, take a look at 0 to Nix. It's got a new installer for Nix that runs on not NixOS Linux and Mac OS. The Mac OS implementation, I'm thinking, is looking really good, and it could compete with like Homebrew for standing up your Linux stuff on Mac OS. Hello, Adam. How the devil are you? Lopter, you don't know what Nix is? That's fine. There's lots of things that I don't know what they are. Nix is a language and a packaging system and a whole bunch of stuff, really. And it's the fabric of what makes NixOS. But it's an immutable, reproducible platform. That's the key thing. Yeah, I've got an old refurbished MacBook 2015 edition, I think. I got a nasty feeling it may have just fallen out of support now. So let me just bring up a link for Lopter so they can take a little look. So let's just do NixOS, because this website, here we go, actually focuses on Nix itself. So you can go here and start reading. But Lopter, what I suggest you do is, if you really want to find out more, go here, which is a site that the company I work for produced, was announced last week. And this will give you, as it says here, a gentle introduction to Nix. So give that a try, and you'll be up and running, and you'll know some of the basics, and at least be able to get your head around what it is and all that stuff. Glad you're doing well, Adam. Yeah, you're always busy. I think that's situation normal for you, isn't it? Where am I working these days? Okay, I've got a command in the chat for that. Here we go. There we go. I'm working there. I'm working at Determinate Systems, working on Nix. Big job. I haven't got that command in there. We'll have to do that. Oh yeah, Tommy, if you want to contribute to 0 to Nix, we've had quite a lot of contributions actually, and we're welcoming them absolutely, totally. And we've had some great suggestions on like where things can be improved. So even if it's some radical like issues, if you feel like there's a topic that should be covered that hasn't been, just put it in there, because this is not finished. This is just the first iteration, and it's definitely going to get continued updates and improvements. But we really want this to be somewhere that we can say, when people say like Lopter did, you know, what is Nix? We just want to be able to say, go to 0.nix.com. You will find all of the answers here. This is a great start, but we know we could do more, and we are working on it. Oh, Lopter, you'll be fine. You don't have to start contributing. You can just start learning. So start here, or another distro, the whole learning Git thing, and also I happen to know of at least one developer of a significant project that you've all heard of. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to shame them. They don't use Git, the tool at all. They only log in to the Git website and they do all of their code editing and code revisions by doing it all in the browser in the Git website, which is not an optimal workflow whatsoever. But there are people working on significant projects that don't know Git, so don't let that put you off. There are ways around it. Oh, well, TCAS, you know, if you take a look at Zero to Nix, Luke, who did the lion's share of this, he's an excellent writer as well, and he's been really enthused by the feedback he's got. So if you've got, you know, tweaks and improvements that you want to, if it's your day job, I realise it's like a busman's holiday and you might not want to do it, but if you do, we'd love it. Hey, Ross, how you doing? Okay, so Ross Madness is asking a great question. Hello, Ross. Welcome back. Been a while. Good to see you again. So something I've never heard explained in all the Nix discussions is why not just use something like Ansible. It's all about the difference between repeatability, which is something like Ansible, and say Docker, and reproducibility. Nix is deterministic. You will always get the same output every single time, whereas with Ansible you may not. In fact, often cases you will not. So it's really about having absolute guarantees that what you are putting into production is really being put into production. Yeah, same bytes out. So if I have a Nix configuration on my machine and I send you Lopta or Ross that Nix configuration and you run that config, you will end up for a bit for bit digitally signed equivalent that is the same thing. Now, if I was to create a Docker file on my machine and send you a Docker file, you would probably get a Docker container that does the same thing, but you would almost certainly not get a bit for bit identical Docker container, because each time they're built, they will pull, like, because of some bad practice in the way people compose Docker files, they will pull latest stuff. So it may do the same thing, but they won't be the same. So this becomes an issue when you're looking at regulatory requirement in order to guarantee that you say this is exactly the software bill of materials that we have and this is what we're putting into production. It's very difficult to actually make those assurances with a whole bunch of technologies, but Nix makes it really easy to do. In fact, it's baked in. It's the very fabric of what Nix does. Does that help explain? You're confused by the stream title. Oh, it says offline. Oh, well, that's no good. I'll tell you what, let's fix that. And maybe that's... boy. Let's see if we can fix that. Manage titles. Right. This is what the title is supposed to be. So, let's see. Did that actually work and set the title accordingly? Let's go back and look at the Twitch control panel. I think I might have to reload this, which I never like doing midstream.
Thank you for the follow it, Guy John.
Yep, that worked. Bot for the win. Hello, IT Guy John. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for pointing that out. Mix the pick. Yeah, offline club. Well, there you go. I set that up to change the title in the thing, but it clearly didn't take. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that. Cheers. So, plenty of Nix enthusiasm in here. It's lovely to see. So Adam says, totally going to hit up that 0 to Nix. Doesn't hurt to learn a new tool. Exactly. If all you come away from this with is another tool in your tool belt that you can use to solve problems, then that's a good thing. Right, did I reboot the bot? I keep getting distracted by all the excellent conversation in chat. You're on fire tonight, everyone. Lovely discussion. I might have to... I've got this amazing... well, I tell you what. I'll share this again. I've shared this on my morning streams a few times. It's a Twitch chat client, Chatterino. And this is what I'm using as my chat client. And I love it so much. It's my new most favourite thing. So, yeah, why am I mentioning that? I don't know. I felt I was looking at chat there and I needed to reiterate and mention it. I was going to look through the history to see what's going on. So, Ali, if you feel like there's missing context, please raise an issue for it and explain what you feel is absent and what could be added. You don't have to have a pull request with what needs adding. Just tell us what you feel is missing and we will get to it. So, where was I? I think I was trying to figure out if I'd reboot. I will just reboot the bot. Not like that. There we go. Let's reboot it. Yeah. So I was conflating the terms there, Ali. Yes, flakes. And I was referring to config in the NixOS sense, the system config. Right, did this work? Let's run this command and see if it does anything. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, let's open my... Oops, I put my mouse over the touch spot. Let's look at... I'm just opening up my logs. View current log. Right, I'm just going to put the log files here and run that again. And see, I'm not going to display my log files on screen because I'm not sure if there's any keys that get sent into the error log. So I'm going to run this again and error, unable to find a parser. Okay, so I've clearly got an error in what I've done. Let's go and look at the code. Oh. Let's go here. Right. Okay. So, look, that's what I've done. Let's try that again. Let's reboot the bot. Silly boy. Right then. There we go. Right then. Yeah, that sounds good, Tommy. Good stuff to cover. So, let's see if colour does anything now. No, it doesn't. Or it's not on a cooldown. So there it is here. We've got the action on action color. Action color. It doesn't. Oh, I need to. Oh no, I am passing it a user. I am passing it a user. So did I get any errors spit out in there? In that, no, not from my stuff. There's some WebSocket errors, but nothing to do with what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Calvin. Thank you. I spotted that. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yeah, I noticed I'd got color for the action, and I was calling it American color in the action, and I was calling it with the British version. Have I left some API color. What have I got wrong here? User ID there. Oh. Silly boy. I'm doing that thing again where there's a value coming back and I'm not actually displaying it anywhere. So let's see what API data is, which is the product of this. There we go. That might help. Gosh. Okay, I must be getting late. Probably need another glass of yerba mate. Let's reboot the bot again. Right. And let's see if it works. Nice try, Nubbin. At the moment, it's only there. We're back with this situation. Okay, so we've got an object back. Okay, so this is what I had with the other two APIs that we implemented. I now need to do object parsing, which I really don't want to get into at midnight. So I think what I'll do is park this and come back to unpicking these. I tell you what we could do though. Let's try this. I'll open it up to everyone. And I'll do two things. We will not just do that. I will capture it in the error logs as well. And let's see what happens. If I open this up to everyone. A little bit concerned about what this might do, but let's find out. So I'm going to reboot the bot. Everyone can have a go at running color. We're going to see if it actually authenticates for all of you, or if it... Yeah, it is authenticating. Okay. So that call is going to work. So I'm just looking at the error logs here. Oh, you can see that Bella is pumping out a load of objects. Okay, everyone, let's just cool that down, because there are there are limits to what Twitch will allow. So let's just reboot the bot there. Thank you for testing though. I can see that I need to decode that object data, but it looks like at least for users calling that they will be able to return their color, and then we'll see if we can set it. So I'll do that in a separate stream. I think some of the things I want to do is we were talking about, we implemented the banning, ban, unban, timeout, untimeout, VIP, unVIP. And I was thinking we could take that a step further. Instead of just having those commands, actually integrate those with OBS to run animations that go along with those commands in the stream. Oh, hello. Who called the Chelsea cucumber? Well done, TCAS. And Bella has her own preference on colour. There's a fascinating conversation in here, I have to say. Thank you, Ali. It's good to have a what's the right term? A critical thinker in the crowd. You're always very good at that whenever you stop by. I'm gonna keep this chat log. That's why I was talking about the chat client. I will keep this chat log, and I will be able to go back and read it at my leisure tomorrow and pick up on some, because some of these points fly by. It's difficult to keep on top of, whilst all of this is going on. But now I'm using Chatterino. It logs all of that for me, and I can go back and read it after the fact. So if you have not seen Chatterino and you frequent Twitch channel either as a streamer or a
Thank you for the follow, Calvin_Maelstrom.
Hello, Calvin. Thank you. Yes, it's a custom bot, Calvin. Yeah. That the last few streams have been experimenting, so just very quick recap for your benefit. It uses this tool here, framework rather, called Kruiz Control, and it allows you to integrate with Twitch and OBS and Stream Elements and Discord and a whole bunch of stuff. And what I've been working on here recently is implementations of the Twitch APIs to expose some additional functionality. Ross asks, will you be streaming more often? It's hard for me in the USA because of the time difference. So I assume this time is a good time for you, Ross. Is that what you're saying? And if that's your question, yes, I know I stream a lot in European morning time, but I'm going to try and do more streaming in the evenings. At the very least, one dev stream a week in the evenings. And then, of course, we've got the Sunday night games, fun times. But yeah, I want to do more streaming because I've got a lot to learn and there's a lot of knowledgeable people here who I can bounce ideas off as I learn and move along. Yep, excellent. So thank you for joining the Discord. I look forward to the conversation there as well. And there are plenty of places to discuss Nix, of course. I've been finding all the corners of the internet where Nix is being discussed. Oh, well, I'm delighted to hear that, Ross. Delighted and surprised, but delighted to hear that. It's nice to know that you get some value from this nonsense. Was there another API we wanted to look at? I think it was the announcement one that does have the ability to set a color. Yeah. So this is the API implementation. Action name was not provided. What? Oh, was not provided an announcement. Okay. That's fine. And then I think what we can do here is say if we go and look at the API for the announcement, we can add the extra parameter because whoops, what did I do there? That's a mistake. We can add the extra parameter, so let's just go and look at the API, which is going, let's just close these two off. I'll have to unpick these. So this is what we need to unpick for this is, yeah, so actually this, when I figure out how to pass this object, it's going to be the same for this and the mods and the VIPs API calls. So send a chat announcement works, as I can demonstrate. Ross Madness says, okay, Ross Madness says, Jupiter Broadcasting has been going on about Nix for what seems like a year now. Chris is all in on NixOS. Oh, well, that's good to know. I did see that they started a NixOS challenge in March of last year. So is that when that all started? And I did find the Matrix group for that. I think the Matrix group is NixOS Nerds. Like I say, I've been trying to find these places where people are hanging out talking about Nix. Because I want to get into these communities and learn from people and, you know, learn from their experiences as well. And I did hop in there the other day to ask some questions. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so Big Pod sharing some of his experiences as well, which I'm familiar with because we worked together at the time. Right then, was the NixOS challenge, just listening through the back catalogue. Okay, fine. Right, so we need to send color, okay. And why was I looking at this? This is the announcement color. Yeah, so actually announcements work, right? Let's just announce. Let's do that. Oh, actually, no, that's the wrong one. Let's do that. There we go. So there's the announcements work. But what we want to do is change the color that that got presented in. It's curious because I see the color in Chatterino, but not in the Twitch chat. I think that's odd. It's odd that there is an API thing to set a color. Or maybe it does it in black on the Twitch thing because there is no color set. Okay, well, let's see if we can fix that. It's going to require... Given that it's 25 to 1, I'm not sure I want to get into this now. I will do it though, but I don't want to do it now. I'm running out of Mate and I'm running out of energy for this, I think. Oh no, come on, let's do it. Let's just go through. I tell you what, I'm going to go and get myself another drink. So we'll try a feature here. I'm going to invoke the I'm going to get a cup of tea mode, and I'll be back in like 2 minutes. So stick with me. When I get back, we'll finish implementing this API endpoint. You can continue talking about Nix, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to push this button, and I'll be back soon. See you in a sec. I heard a lot of parachutes dropping whilst I was gone. Did you have fun? Oh, the audio hasn't ducked back down. That's a bit unfortunate. Gonna have to do that manually. Right, let's just put that back where it's meant to be. That's supposed to do that automatically as I come back, but there we go. Right then. Oh dear, not running another advert. I didn't want that. Okay. Sorry about the additional ad run. That is unintentional. I did not mean to do that. Right then. Let's get back to it. Where were we? We were over here. Oh my gosh, all the transitions have gone crazy. What's this? My goodness. Okay. So we're going to implement the color on this here. Ascertainment. Hello, how you doing? You like this, do you? Do you recognize it? Is it something you recognize and that's why you like it? Or do you just like it? Please bear with Wimpy. Yeah, sorry. The ad run whilst I'm gone, that's a bit cheeky, but I didn't mean to do it twice. That's not what I'm about here. It's just for fun. Right then. Like it, you can't see it. Well, it's an Og Camp 2015 t-shirt, which took place over Halloween that year, hence the werewolf theme. You recognise it, okay. Right, okay then. So let's get back to it. Let's hop over to the editor here. Let's think about what we're going to do. So the chat announcement can have an optional second parameter. So we will add that here on command. Let's think. I've got some of these here where we've sent multiple commands, I think, not just the... Here we go. arg1, and let's see if we got one that passes 2 in. Yeah, arg2. So let's do this. We will change this to say if arg1. So this is saying, so argument 1 is the first parameter that it sees. And the 2 means if this condition evaluates to false, skip that many lines in the execution. So, or evaluates to true rather, skip this number of lines. So if it's empty, we're going to drop in here and do that. So we're then going to do, and we need to change that to arg1. And what we should do is just save this, run it very quickly. So we'll bounce the bots. And we will do an announcement, which is that, which doesn't work. What have I done? I've already broken it. Oh, wow. Did I spell announcement right in the thing? Oh, hang on. There we go. I've spotted another issue here. I've used announcement that time, and that's not an active command. So let's change that to announce testing. Do that. Okay, so that still works good. That's the first thing. We don't want to make sure we've messed up the parameters. And then we'll do something here to capture the color, which will come in as arg2. So we say if it's empty, then we will just pull that and exit. Otherwise, we will exit the action. Otherwise, we should say if arg2 equals, and then we've got a list of colors. So let's go and get those. Oh, so primary. Oh, okay. So actually we can be a bit more smart about this, can't we? Color is set to primary if it's not set, or it's not set. Okay, so we can do that as well here to mimic the same behavior. So if that is empty, we can actually, let's just plonk those down there. We'll take that. If it's that, then we will set that. We'll do it up here. Set variable color to primary as the initialization variable. And then if it's empty, we don't care, do we? So we don't actually need that statement anymore, because we can always send the color now, because we know it's going to have the default value. And then what we'll do is pick up all of this, mop up that, drop this in here, and we'll say if we'll skip a couple of lines, so we may need to change that. If arg2 is not equal to blue And I think that's what we want, isn't it? Green, blue, green, orange, purple. Is that enough? And arg2 is not equal to green. And arg2 is not equal to orange. And arg2 is not equal to purple. Then what we're going to do, we're going to say something bad in here. So we're going to skip one. No, we're going to skip 2 lines because we'll chat send something, say you've done it wrong, and then we'll exit. Otherwise, we'll drop out here and we'll end up with our initial argument, which is, oh no, this isn't going to work. This is why I didn't implement the color. I think I've got a solution to this in one of the other actions. I realize this is more complicated than I thought. Working with the limitations of this here framework now. So I think what I need to do is pass in the whole thing and then pull out the color. Yeah, I don't want to do this. This is a lot of faffing around. Ordinarily, this would be quite straightforward in most languages, but this syntax is quite primitive, and this sort of jiggling things around is actually quite cumbersome. I did do it with something. Which one was it? I did a thing. It wasn't this one, because this one was quite straightforward. It was only one parameter. What was it? There was one that I had to pass some stuff. I had to. Oh, it's the multi-stream thing. Is that in the chat bot? Let's look it up. No, multi. Okay, maybe it is in here. No. Oh, it'll be in Deck API. Yes, there we go. So how did I solve this? I said why? I don't even understand what I've written here now. So I'm just going to need to look up the chat commands for this. Probably need to move those ones out. So we got a command. Oh, I see. So the first part is the service, and the second part is the streamers. Okay, now I understand how I did it. So the way I could work around this, so that's what this was doing. Okay, I remember now. Is what we're doing is we're taking the username and then basically removing it from the list, just combining those last two together. Okay, can I do this a similar way? If I make color the first parameter, that's cumbersome. No, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be typing announce and always putting a color in. See you, Lopter. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I'm going to abort this change. This is gold plating that I cannot be bothered to get into right now. So where were we doing this? It was over here, wasn't it? I'm going to have to give this some thought. I'd like to figure this out, but I don't know that 1 o'clock in the morning is the time to be doing that. So we do require something, but the thing is that I can't know that this parameter is argument 2, because in actual fact, if I type a multi-word announcement, oh, actually, no, thinking about it. Yeah, if I just type, this is a test, unquoted. Oh, I've done it again. Announcement. I haven't reloaded since I added that alias. Ah. I can do this. I can do this. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. In order to do the announcement, I have to wrap it in quotes to do a multi-word. So consequently, if I do that and blue, then blue is the second. Okay, right. We're good. We're good. We can totally do this. So if arg2, so I need to first of all check if arg2 exists. That's the thing we need to do here. I've probably got a nice little bit of logic for that somewhere that I can just borrow. There we go. That will do. So let's do this. If the parameter exists, arg2, so if exists equals false, no, if exists equals true, then we'll evaluate, is it one of those things? And if it's not, we'll exit. Gosh, this is going to, oh, that doesn't need to be tabbed in. So let's just line this up a little bit more thoughtfully. Okay. So let's just think about the logic here. We don't have conventional, like, conditional control in this framework, so it's a little bit of a mind bender. We want to not drop that far. We want to drop 1, 2, 3 lines of code in this one. So if exists true, so if we've provided a second argument, which is our color, if it's true, drop in here. That needs to be 3. Drop into here. And if it's not blue, green, orange, or purple, we need to say command can only accept blue, green, orange, and purple as announcement colors. Let's just keep the face palm. Then we would exit, and then we would drop down here, and we're going to otherwise we're going to end up here, and we know that we've got, at this point, we've got arg2, which is legitimate, and so we want to take this and set this variable color to arg2. I think is what we want to do. I think. Yeah. Is there a double quote? Where's the double quote? Let me look. This one here. Yes. Is this the... Oh, line 9, you say? No, it's not. Thank you very much, Round Dev. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for your keen eyes. I appreciate that. That may have been difficult to spot. I'll just check the other end of that. Okay. Nice one. Thank you. So, arg1 and then color. Let's try this. I'm not 100% confident I've got that right, but let's give it a go. So let's bonk the box. Let's give them a go, and then we will do announce. This is a test, and we'll do it in blue. Well, that didn't work. We got it in purple. So what have I got wrong there? How do I... Oh, I may not be passing the color the other side. That's probably what's going on now. Yes, indeed. That is exactly what's going on. So we now need to do a similar conditional test this side, which is we can do down here. We probably need to validate it, but for speed testing this, we will just do this, which is, I need to look at that API again. I assume it's just going to be color. Here was the yeah, color. Okay. So if there is a second parameter, so round dev, it's not so much complicated as I'm kind of pushing the limits of what this tool was designed to do, but it's kind of interesting to sort of test what it can do, because it can do it's got an awful lot of functionality baked in. So it can do channel point redemptions and stream elements stuff and OBS integrations over WebSocket. It does a whole bunch of stuff. You've got Discord stuff all built in. It does a whole bunch of chat API stuff by default. What I'm trying to do is a little bit like on the hard side of things, because I'm trying to implement the Twitch API in this simplistic language that is really just meant for controlling the inbuilt capabilities. But I'm just curious as to how far I can go with this, because I'm learning some things about where it gets complicated and where it's impractical. But I've managed to bring it quite a long way. So there's quite a lot going on in here. Everything in here is being orchestrated by this bot at the moment. So it's pretty decent, and it's been fun. BS slang. What's BS slang? I'm not familiar with that term. Right, where were we? So if we've got color, it's not so much that it's a language that's made to be useless. Like, for example, if you look here, which is the main chatbot, it's very simple. Like what it does, you know, it's really easy to create a fully like equivalent to like the Stream Elements chatbot. I think it took me an hour to implement that sort of thing. It's very, very simple to do, and means that you can, you know, have your own logic and what have you. But I'm just curious to implement these, because these APIs are going away from the Twitch IRC chat API in a few days or 2 weeks. And so I'm trying to implement them here to see if it's viable. And I think it's going to be. At least everything I need I've been able to implement already. And I've deliberately left the more awkward ones to the end. Word 2003. Oh, no, not 17 bits. 12-bit words are the hardest ones I've had to work with in the past in aircraft black box flight recorders. Or at least most black box flight recorders until sort of the very modern era use 12-bit words. So you'll have to, and they don't have an agreed order. So that's fun stuff. See, I understand. So are you? Do you stream here? And what are you interested? What sort of stuff are you interested in? Not just streaming, but just generally. What have we got? Let's just remind myself. Getting late here. More drink required. Oh yeah, that was it. We'll just send some more data. I don't stream programming, but I do stream Beat Saber. Oh, really? Cool. I've seen people play that. I've never played it myself. Interested in Rust. Okay, yeah, I work with a bunch of people who love Rust in a big way. Yeah, Rust is big at work. I think almost exclusively we use Rust. Yeah, I'm still... Oh, you're still here as well, Bludgeon. Okay. Right then. So I was just going to change that into and color, and we'll see what we get. Rust is my one and only mistress. Don't tell my girlfriend that. Okay, your secret is safe. None of us will reveal that information. Very good. How long have you been developing with Rust? And have you done any work in the kernel with it yet? At least Rust has me. Right. No, we need to change that to that. Okay, let's try it and bounce the bot and see if that does what I wanted to do. So we'll just do testing and we'll try it in blue. Oh, I've broken it. It didn't come through at all. Ah, boy, back to my log files. What have I done here? View the current log. Must be an error messaging. Oh gosh, I really did get it wrong. What have I done? Bad requests. Oh, I've got a completely incorrectly full. Oh, I've seen this before. Okay, malform, bad request. Message, the parameter color was malformed. Green, orange. Okay, I see what's going on here. It requires a JSON object, and I did have to do that for one of the other API implementations. So, I've been using Rust for a couple of months. Oh, really? So you're that much of a fan after just a short amount of time? So, used to do C#. Okay. I don't know if Big Pod is still here, but he's a massive fan of C#. But I only do stupid side projects that never seem to get done. What, in Rust? Yeah, I see. Rust is really growing. Well, it's been growing in popularity steadily, but it really seems to have picked up in the last sort of 18 months. I've really seen a lot more chatter about Rust. Like, I know it's a very popular language, but it really seems to be accelerating. I wonder if the hey Big Pod. I wonder if the kernel inclusion in the kernel has sort of helped fuel that interest. It must have done, I suppose. And the other language I've used, yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to investigate Rust more closely. Given what I'm working on now, it's kind of an imperative. So it's not a language I've really used. I have read enough to be dangerous. If somebody has some Rust code and there's some trivial changes that need making, I can just about navigate my way through that. But actually, writing whole cloth code isn't something I've done in Rust, and I probably need to up my game there. Yeah, native testing. Yeah. Okay, I can see that batteries are running out in various devices. I think what I'm going to do is, I know that I need to put a marker in here. Because this needs to be a JSON object in order for the API to consume it based on the bad request messages I saw come back the other way. So I will not do that now because it's gone 1 AM and it's really not a good time to be doing this. So nevertheless, I'll just make sure that it still works without that in there. Because what else did we do? Yeah, that should be fine. So let's just do a basic announcement. Okay, there we go. So that is restored. That's working. Okay, cool. So I have got.
Thank you for the follow, Rondev.
Well, thanks very much for the follow, Rondev, and welcome. Do you do Linuxy stuff, or do you work on other platforms? Mostly the people that circle this stream are Linux nerds. You've played with the Linux, but mainly Windows. Okay. Well, if you're ever interested in Linuxy stuff, that's usually what I do here. This is I suppose this is me achieving peak Twitch streamer. You know, this is now my 3rd stream where I'm a Twitch streamer coding a chatbot, a Twitch chatbot. So I feel like, you know, for meme value, for sort of completionist, I've achieved that badge now. But normally I'm messing around with Linux well, not the kernel, but sort of Linux plumbing, putting together operating systems, packaging stuff, building desktop environments, that sort of thing. This is a bit of casual, don't have to think about it too much, just sort of pick away at it when it pleases me side project. But I've kind of let it get away from me, and I think this crazy thing I'm gonna let grow and develop into something. Right then, who's about this evening? Okay, interesting. Well, here's good. Okay, all right then. Let's go and see one of our friends. So, let's head over here. So, it's 1 AM here. I am running out of stamina. I will call that good enough, and I'll fix that up. Probably not on stream, because I think those initial bits of integration are good enough. I'll probably tidy those up at the weekend with my daughter. And we're going to head over to CM Griffin, who's always good value. So thank you all for coming. I will be streaming again, definitely on Friday, definitely on Sunday, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. But bye for now, and thank you all for coming.